Good news can often get overlooked or buried by the negative in our everyday lives. So let's change that. I'm Adriana.
And I'm Wyatt.
We're just two ordinary people without any special qualifications or anything, trying to navigate life. We invite you to join us as we share wholesome stories, news articles of hope, and ideas about how we can all make the world just a little bit brighter. We are Uplifting Positive Stories. Welcome back to another episode of Uplifting Positive Stories. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know we came from our Thanksgiving plans quite stuffed.
Yes.
We had to drive back from the Twin Cities, and I was like, we need to drive home. I'm starting to get like post-food like nappy. Like I'm like, nope, about to take a coffee and start driving because
yes,
played some Mario Kart with some family, and
it was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time, and then came back, did a little bit of Black Friday shopping. We're entering nesting mode, so
yes,
all the boxes.
Be prepared if you're someone who's planning to get pregnant in the future. If you are now, it's already too late. You're with us now. If the timing is going to be like over Christmas period, prepare yourselves for the number of boxes
between all the Christmas.
I mean, there's already going to be lots of cardboard, just from the pregnancy, but combine that with
Christmas season presents for people. It's a lot.
It's a lot. You can't see it right now, but we do have some piles of boxes behind the cameras that's just waiting for recycling day to arrive, which is soon. It's just, it's a bit of a mess right now, but we're getting through it.
We're getting through it. We're building dressers for the nursery, and
I think most of the major furniture is built. I
hope we're running out of real estate in our house for this, so hopefully we're getting close. But so today's episode is all about sweet strangers. So all about examples where people had some random stranger step up to help or did something unexpected that lifted their spirits. And it's just, that's kind of the overarching thing I might found between all these stories. So
let's get some uplifting going.
We'll just jump right in. Our first one here comes from the subreddit Random Acts of Kindness, and it is titled, I was a checker for Sam's and did a random act of kindness years ago.
Okay.
Here we go.
That could take a number of forms.
A few years ago, I worked part-time as a checker for Sam's Club. I am by no means wealthy, but my kids are grown, and my second husband and I are comfortable. I remember there was a time in my life when my kids were very young and we were poor. My first husband and I divorced, and it was tough raising two little girls on my own. Gosh, how we looked forward to going grocery shopping on payday. I could actually say yes to a few things that they wanted. Back then, that didn't happen often. We visited food banks sometimes because I was broke and hungry. It was awful. Anyway, back to Sam's. I was checking one Saturday, and a family came in with a cart full. Good stuff, meal basics, and you can tell they hadn't been able to shop for a while. The kids were all excited and happy. Just as I finished checking them out, the dad used their SNAP card and it failed. Food stamps for those that are not in the U.S. The mom panics, of course, and she dang near starts crying. The little kids just stand there staring at the food they weren't going to get to eat tonight. I so remember being that mom, the happiness that comes from being able to get food and saying yes to just the freaking basics. And then, boom, SNAP doesn't work. The manager came over and said, I'm so sorry, the whole system's down statewide. We can't process any EBT cards today. The defeated look on all of their faces was just too much. I pulled the manager aside and I asked if I can pay. He literally thought I'd lost my mind. Yes, it was about $200, I think, but darn it, I've been that mom, and I couldn't let them leave without their food. It would break my heart. I had my debit card in my back pocket for my break, so he explained to the family that I wanted to buy their cart for them and asked if that would be all right. Now the mom really did cry, and the kids started planning supper again. I've never told anyone about that. I'm so thankful that I was in a position to help. That's my random act. So blessed to be able to do that for someone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super thoughtful and nice.
Yeah, that's incredibly nice.
And how stressful a situation, too. I mean, I know nationally a lot of people face that for a bit recently.
Yeah, in the United States.
Fortunately, I think that's fully resolved now, right?
I think so, hopefully. I heard that there was going to be like a slow process to get it back, but for it to be down statewide randomly and like things just not working, and like you said, like having a cart full of things, and it's probably, refrigerated items, frozen items, like that sucks. Like that's embarrassing and awful. And so, to be able to do that and like recognizing the position too, like I'm blessed to be able to do that for someone. Like that's really, really cool that this person was like, you know what, I was in that position and now I'm in another position where I can help with that, and like recognizing that. And that's really important, I think, too, to like recognize when you see someone that's in a position you were in when you were feeling down or when you had struggles, and realizing when you're on the flip side and you're like, you know what, I would have appreciated this so much if I was in this position. You know, so like I just think that's really cool that they stepped in that moment to do that.
Well, yeah, paying it forward, especially because they've been in that position. I mean, you should pay it forward. I mean, I don't want to say should. It shouldn't be expected, but
No, but
if you're able to and you can and want to, you should.
yeah.
And especially if you're someone that has lived that experience and wish someone would just help you out at that time, and you can be that person for someone else, then yeah.
Yeah, just recognizing it, and yeah, in that moment when it happens. Because sometimes we also like, we've had episodes specifically about this too, but the hesitation in the moment is like, oh, I don't want to make them feel even more embarrassed if I do this, or oh, I don't want to, like, I don't know, shouldn't I? That's a lot of money. Like, just doing it and like just taking that moment, because that is really hard to do. So kudos to the person to like for doing it in that moment and for being like, okay, my debit card's in the break room. Here's how I can do this right now. You know, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Even though they recognize there's a lot of money. Like, yeah, kudos to them. So very cool. All right, on to our next story. This one also comes from Random Acts of Kindness. This one is titled, "To the Beautiful Strangers Who Paid for My Massage at One Hotel, Hanalei Bay." I took a vacation I couldn't really afford. I did it with a Costco vacation package.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah, right. But still, I'll be paying off his credit card bill for quite a while. I don't even care. It was so freaking worth it. Best vacation I've ever had, and most beautiful and swanky hotel I've ever stayed at. Kauai is now calling me back, and all I can think about is how to come back. On my last day, today, I booked a massage appointment. For reference, the massage was $445 before any taxes, service fees, or tips.
Whoa.
As I checked in and was rung up for a sweatshirt that I shouldn't have bought, but it was so soft, I chatted with the sweet receptionist. I asked her how her day was going, and she said that it was good, as most people were being mostly nice. I was internally appalled. How can you be upset at a spa in paradise? But she elaborated that sometimes people can be a little bit blank and apathetic, but that today people seem to have life in their eyes. Side note, I adore this answer, and it was just so human. As we chatted more, two beautiful women came up in line behind me. We started talking about how I sing people to sleep at my job, totally true, and I included the ladies in the conversation. I also mentioned that I had borrowed $844,000 for my education, and that this was a trip of a lifetime for me, because clearly I'm not this kind of rich. I'm sure they could tell from my old navy tank top and shorts. I come out for my massage to find that these lovely women had paid for my massage. I started tearing up at the register, and I'm tearing up again writing this. I hope you two read this. I hope you know that this was the most amazing thing a stranger has ever done for me. Thank you. You made me feel special and made my trip so special. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm going to start crying in the airport.
Dang.
Yeah. Super nice, because yeah, it wasn't like, in this situation, what I like about this is it wasn't necessarily like she was complaining for the sake of complaining. She was just more so being like, oh my gosh, I know, like I splurged on this trip, you know, like self-care, that kind of thing. But then these ladies were in a position where they're like, well, we have enough money that it's not that big of a deal for us to cover this for her.
I mean, we don't know their financial situation. Like,
that's true. I guess that's fair. That's true. That's fair.
Or not. We don't know.
We don't know.
Either way, it's still a nice act. I didn't have to do that.
That was incredibly nice.
And good on OP for, you know, not being prideful about it. Because I feel I feel like this is like a sitcom or a TV show. Like, oh, they think I can't afford it. That I'm
What
poor.
was it, my old navy top? No,
and then they had a friend there. Well, you can't afford it. Well, it's the principle. You know what I mean? Like the scene plays out like in my head, TV wise, you know, or media. But like, you know, she just was like able to take it as a nice act, and as it was.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. But I think that was super, super cool, and yeah, just a very, very kind thing to do. And I like when people do that, and not like they weren't clearly these women weren't expecting for her to come out and be like, oh my gosh, thank you, to their faces and stuff, because they just did it and left, which is like we see that a lot with like the pay it forward chains in places and stuff like that. Like, it's just nice doing it for the sake of feeling like, I helped this person, and not expecting her to be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, and like all that afterward. Super, super nice.
Yeah. And speaking as someone who likes to travel with my wife, don't feel bad about taking some time to travel.
Sometimes
okay?
it really helps to reset things. I know that has helped us for when we've gone on certain
and
trips
life's too
for
short,
ourselves.
dang it.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give financial advice here in that regard. Don't put yourself
No.
in like difficult situations per se, but live life. Don't feel bad about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, don't like go on a bunch of vacations and then complain to your friends about, I don't have any money anyways. Here's my next trip, like.
Yeah.
But don't feel bad about doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Enjoy it.
For sure. And also, Old Navy tops and shorts are great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. She was like, my cheap Old Navy tank top and shorts. I'm like, they're great.
Maybe it shows my class status that I don't notice brands at all.
That's also true.
I
don't
notice
really either.
ripped or unripped. I don't know.
Yeah. But don't be embarrassed by what you
working
wear,
condition or not. And usually they're working condition, so I don't notice.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was funny that she pointed that out. Like, not that kind of rich. Like, what? Anyways, moving on to our next story. This one comes from the subreddit Best of Redditor Updates, and this one originally was posted in Ask Reddit. The original post was, so the updated title is a 16-and-a-half-year-old post. So this was from 16-and-a-half-years ago.
Wow. Different time.
And it was the title was, it was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. The original post from 2009 says, on February 3rd this year, I stood outside a strip mall and listened to a trafficked intersection. It marked the first time in 16 years that I had heard anything in stereo. I cried at the sounds of motors humming and tires rolling across graveled cement. I heard squeaky brakes and idling engines waiting to rev into gear. It was the most beautiful thing I'd experienced since I was 7 years old. I lost almost all of my hearing due to a hole in my eardrum after noise trauma in first grade. 16 years, 4 major surgeries, countless ear infections, and a month jammed with 16 hearing tests later, I finally got fitted for a hearing aid that could return my severe hearing loss to an acceptable level for someone my own age. I sat in the doctor's office for an hour with this little piece of plastic and rubber in my ear canal, listening to everything. I heard the clicks of cell phone buttons, the sounds of doorknobs turning, small chatter in the front lobby, the whisper of a CPU fan on my doctor's computer. All of it was beautiful to the point that I was crying in the chair. I had to take the hearing aid out and return to my mostly muted life before I left. I was quoted $5,250 for a pair of hearing aids, but because my left ear only had a mild hearing loss, I was told I only needed one, so that left me with a number in front of me that I still had no idea how I would afford. $2,625. I drove to the office in a car I spent a grand total of $1,995 on. I'm a freelance writer, and the demand for my work is minimal right now. There is no way I can afford to shell out over $2,500 on something that I've spent the past 16 years without. My doctor informed me that the longer I wait, the more my hearing will deteriorate on the less severe side. This is where you guys can come in. Does anyone know any options I could have for how to find the same hearing aid but for cheaper? Or maybe someone knows a group that can sponsor someone like me and help me pay for it? Is there some way to get around using hearing aids, like building strength back in your ears? I'm at a loss for what to do. I'm 23 years old and I've already got severe hearing loss in one ear with deteriorating ability in the other. I don't want to be deaf by the time that I'm 25.
Oof.
Yeah, so some other clarifications too. Someone had asked, the comment itself is deleted, but it sounds like they had asked if their health insurance would cover it. To which the OP responded, unfortunately, Medicaid doesn't pay for hearing issues, neither does Aetna, which is the insurance I currently have. Also, I've got military insurance, not even that will cover it. I'm trying right now to see if there are any charities that can help me out, or maybe sponsorships or whatever. Yeah.
I hate healthcare.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do, but oh my gosh, trying to not.
Yeah.
Maybe we should skip ahead to the good part because I'm ready to go on a rant about healthcare and stuff. And that's not that kind of podcast.
All right, let's go on to the update. On to the update. Top comment. Here, $2,000 via PayPal. I spent a long time looking through your past Reddit comments trying to gauge the likelihood of this being a scam. This is the one that got me to trust you to a reasonable extent, so they found another post that they had made. They're like, okay, I think this is a real person. Besides, I always find myself wishing people wouldn't worry so much about their financial security when they have not only enough money for food and shelter, but also for iPods and Blu-rays. After all, There are people who lack not only financial security, but also finances for right now. So for me, this is a bit of an opportunity to walk the walk instead of just wishing the wish. So are you at your goal yet? OP said, I don't even know what to say. I would say this is the ultimate example of karma, but I don't want to cheapen your generous contribution. How can I ever thank you enough? You have made a significant impact on the quality of my life. Thank you. To which someone else commented, please learn to play an instrument. As a musician, I'm almost envious of hearing sound from the new perspective, and I think you'd quite enjoy the creating the sounds and the harmonies. Best of luck. To which OP said, I play trumpet, trombone, drums, guitar, classic, acoustic, and learning bass, clarinet, and a few other brass instruments. I'm excited to see the new perspective I will have on music.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this is another update the next day. OP says, I've reached my goal for one of the hearing aids. I was not expecting such amazing support from fellow Redditors. Thank you all so much. I'm going in tomorrow to pay for it. I'll keep you all posted. And then a couple days later, he posted, okay, so it's Tuesday, the day after I thought I would be able to purchase my new hearing aid. Unfortunately, PayPal has some sort of processing duration that takes 3 to 4 days for funds to transfer, and that means I can't purchase it today, but I will definitely have it by the end of the week. In the meantime, I will be posting up some images of my hearing tests for the doubtful people, a little proof to put your mind at ease. I was thinking of writing an essay and submitting it for publication. This essay will be a short recount of what happened and how the internet community, all the older parents are afraid of, doesn't have to be so bad. I want this story to reach out to more than just us. I want people everywhere to have a little stutter in their breath as they read about how an online community came together to help someone they've never even had a conversation with. I've never been one of the top posters or commenters on Reddit, and I seriously doubt that I will ever become one, but thank you all for proving to everyone else that popularity doesn't matter past school and politics. That judgment can be made based on things other than appearance, that the kindness we show can be repaid to us in amazing ways. I am awaiting a fax to come through from my otologist. He is faxing me copies of my records, including hearing exams, payments, notes, discussions we've had about what will be best for me, etc. As soon as I receive those pages, I will go to Kinko's and scan them. Heck, I suppose I could just take a picture of that if that works for you guys. And then there was another post that they made another day later that had screenshots, pictures of their hearing tests and such, and the receipts, saying thank you all so much. I almost forgot the bill, which shows the total price of the hearing aid. And then someone responded, also, what is it like? To which OP said, it's amazing. Like I said, I'm going to be writing it all up over the next few weeks, and once I'm finished with the story, I'm going to let you all read it before I submit it for publication. I picked up my best friend for lunch today, and I heard him zip up his coat as he sat in the passenger seat. I went to the pharmacy to pick up some prescriptions, and the little beeps from the scanner almost made me cry. I'm so emotional. And then they had made another post, I think it was on a different thread, say the question someone had asked was, hello Reddit, which songs have actually made you cry? And OP went through and listed off a dozen songs with links to songs that they love and stuff like that. So clearly they're able to hear better now, which is really cool and uplifting. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Head straight to the movie theater with Dolby surround sound.
And get the full experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, just out of the gate for a commenter to be here's $2,000 via PayPal, get your hearing aid.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I was just blown away when I read that.
Yeah, I feel like we've been going up and up and up in terms of the donations given throughout the episode.
Right, and with that one, it's even more whoa to me because you can't even see the person.
That's true. Yeah, it's all online.
It's all online. Yeah,
which
and
easily could be a scam.
It could be a scam,
Easily.
or you could never hear from them again.
Right.
Just maybe it did help them, but you never would know. You know what I mean? There could be no updates. There could be no, besides just a thank you. That's all you get. You don't know if it's going well for them, if the hearing aid helped. You know what I mean? You're going off of just I'm doing this nice thing, and that's the end of that. And it's great that OP did update and was here's the picture, the things of my hearing tests, and talked about music and stuff and what instruments they play. So there was that kind of cool part of it too, I'm sure, for the person that made that huge donation to see oh wow, they're definitely a musician. You know what I mean? This is going to be a huge thing for them. Even more than I originally thought, I don't know. I just think that was really, really awesome. So, yeah, pretty profound.
Yeah, it's just a shame they had to be in that position in the first place,
I know.
But on the bright side, you can hear now, and that's got to be incredible to
have
that
and
sense
with that
back.
scariness of the other ear deteriorating if he didn't have the hearing aid, stopping that deterioration from happening. That's huge.
Which is crazy. That's like healthcare won't cover it, you know,
Right.
or your health insurance won't include it.
Hearing
I
is
don't know.
such a huge part of it. I don't understand.
Health insurance is stupid.
I agree. But good Samaritans, good strangers out there. That's very, very sweet. So, all right, on to our news article for today. So this one comes from today.com, and it is titled, "An Uber driver stayed by his side when he was alone in the ER. 7 years later, they're still friends." So this is kind of another crazy story. I did not actually even make the connection that healthcare was a big thing in this episode between these two things.
Really trying to let me exercise my
I'm not
patience
trying to rile you
with
up.
ranting about health insurance. I'll do it. It'll make it an hour-long episode. We've talked about it a lot, especially in the wake of pregnancy.
But yeah, so basically what happened was this guy named Joey Romano, who's a college senior in Austin, Texas. He was swerved to avoid a car and ended up in the ditch and broke his wrist. He didn't want to pay for the ambulance.
He only broke his wrist?
I mean, there's probably other things, but that was the most like severe thing.
That's pretty lucky. That's the most severe thing from swerving.
Oh,
into a
sorry,
ditch.
he was skateboarding. He was not in a car. I should have made that more clear.
I see. Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so anyways, he didn't want to pay for an ambulance because he didn't have very good insurance. So he called an Uber instead.
Ambulances are very expensive.
Yeah, it's insane even if it's like a short distance, it's crazy. So his driver arrived named Benny Lukumu, and Romano was still lying on the ground when he arrived. So Lukumu helped him into his car, helped to recline the seat back so he wouldn't be in pain to help minimize movement and stuff. They went for urgent care first, but they were like, no, you need to go to the ER. So they immediately he was like, you need to transfer. Lukumu was like, I'll drive you there, no charge. I'll take you from urgent care to ER, which already extremely nice. Like, he's working for Uber right now. So very, very nice and thoughtful. He had found out that Romano had no family nearby to come help him. Lukumu himself had immigrated to the United States from the Congo at age 25, and he knew what it was like to not have any loved ones nearby to help out. So Lukumu just stepped up. He just was like, he signed him into the ER, and he sat with him from 2 to 8 p.m. Lukumu claims that he didn't even register the fact that he missed like 6 hours of time that he could have been working for Uber, because he was like, I want to make sure this guy's okay. And like, for some reason, he was like, I feel like we're friends, even though I just met this guy. Romano, to quote him, says, I was on a morphine drip and I remember feeling glad he was there. He has this warm presence and strangely it felt like we'd known each other forever. And then eventually Romano's grandmother, who lives in Houston, came around the time that Lukumu had to go. She offered to pay Lukumu for all of what he did, but he was like, nope. And she was like, well, at least come over for dinner. So he did. And that has created a friendship between Lukumu and Romano that has lasted for 7 years. So, turns out Romano actually was at a pretty low point of his life during this time. His brother had passed away recently and he was struggling with grief. To quote Romano, after losing my brother and experiencing so much loss beyond that, I just became really insular. I could barely take care of myself, let alone others. I just shut down and closed myself off. I became really cold. And he says that what Lukumu did for him really kind of pulled him out of that dark, isolating place. That one act of kindness helped me see the good in the world again. Having him spend his entire day with me, a complete stranger, for no reason other than the goodness of his heart, helped me to put things into perspective. Benny absolutely changed my life. And they still check on each other a couple times a year ever since then. So, wow. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sort of an indirect financial sacrifice because they gave up that time they could be Ubering, but also like physical time. Like, it's been a lot of time. 6
hours in the ER, that's a lot for somebody that he doesn't know him, you know, but like, it's amazing that he did that. And then it's really cool that they ended up becoming friends after that. And like, that was a bond of a moment that like they'll have, you know, it sounds like they'll have forever, where they're like, yeah, when you did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really, really cool. So, and he definitely didn't have to. That's super, super, super nice. So
went way above and beyond.
But yeah, and it pulled Romano out of a bad place, so that's really cool too. Remind him that there's good in the world. And that's what I hope all of these stories kind of do for everybody, is like reminders that there's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of people that when they find the opportunity to help out do. And I mean, there's a lot of times where it doesn't happen too, obviously, but if we can shine a light on those times when they do help, and when we see these examples of that, it kind of reminds us there's a lot of good out there, and kind of can help help pull us out of that isolated place where we're all like, oh, people are bad, people are selfish, and things like that. This is kind of the antithesis of that, showing that no, there's a lot of very selfless people out there too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the reason the show exists, to highlight that.
Exactly. And there's lots and lots of stories. So yeah, with that, we will end today's podcast episode. In a couple weeks here, we have our holiday episode, Heartwarming Holiday Stories.
And Volume 2 of Stranger Things, Season 5.
Yeah, we're a little hooked on that. I'm really excited, and I can't wait a couple weeks. Man, I need to know what happens. So if there's any other fellow Stranger Things fans out there, we feel ya. We're waiting too. But yes, it'll be a really fun episode. We got a ton of stories this year. I've been stockpiling them all year long, so there's a lot.
High expectations.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. And if you have any positive stories that you would like to share, that would be awesome. Please send them to us at upliftingpositivestories@gmail.com. We'd love to read them on here.
And if you're watching YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please leave us a review. Those really greatly help.
Yeah.
And
help to push it out there to other more people.
Positive stories out there.
That'd be great. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
And stay positive.